That's what.
Hello, everybody. This is APBA Brian with the Picks to Post show, week 17. And first of all, I hope everyone had a terrific Christmas, and wish everyone a very happy New Year's. They certainly had a zappy holiday in New England. Santa finished giving his gifts, finished his journey at Arrowhead Stadium, and gave his two biggest gifts to the Las Vegas Raiders in a space of 7 seconds. And the quarterbacks in Minnesota and San Francisco were in a terrific giving mood themselves, throwing 9 interceptions between them. And Rudolph did a perfect job leading the sleigh in Pittsburgh. We are joined today by, first of all, let's go with this screen. We're joined today by Keith, who kindly hosted the show last week.
Yeah, sort of. I was a little out of it. But.
Wilderness. Keith is recovering from COVID, and he's hopefully feeling better.
I kind of let you do the heavy lifting that night, but.
And we also have Bob Bryant, who won last week on our pick show. He was 10-6 with the picks. Bob, you were the winner, and that was the first time you were on the show with us this year. A bunch of us went 9-7. Harris was 9-7. Rob was 9-7. Dan and Keith were 9-7. And I was 9-7. So everybody was about 9-7. Mike says 7-9. It happens.
Oh, 7-9. I thought it was like 3 and something.
I think you still got a share of the lead though in the standing.
Oh, that's okay. I thought I was like 3-12 or something like that. New England Patriot fever.
We are also joined by Michael Peterson. And let's go ahead. Lori, I never mentioned this, but my wife Lori runs the graphics behind the scenes. And thank you, Lori, for your help. And Lori, we are ready for the first game. We don't have the NFL weather. Being a Christmas holiday, the NFL weather site did not update the weather yet, so I don't have the weather in each city. Probably going to be bad in a lot of places that aren't domes.
It's bad already, so it's all right.
Our first game was the New York Jets. They are 6-9, going against the Cleveland Browns, who are 10-5. This game is in Cleveland. And let's see. First of all, let's go with Keith. Who's going to win that game?
Well, I'll go with the Browns to win this one. Jets got a good lead early last week. Commanders made everybody think that they had some interest in winning it until they showed they really didn't. I just don't see the Jets getting that kind of lead in this one. I'll go with Cleveland.
All right, Michael?
You started me with the wonderful Jets, huh? Isn't that great? Jets probably the worst team, but I think something's going to be happening very shortly.
Their coach?
I don't know yet. I'm trying to figure it out.
Zach Wilson.
No.
Sauce Gardner.
Hello? Woody! What are you doing on the phone, Woody?
What are you
you you know that you heard the fire sound, right? All the fireworks, the fire that your team is burning down to the ground. Yeah. Oh yeah, your team, and you don't care. You make all that money on Johnson & Johnson because they're all over New Brunswick and all of that. Yeah. You might as well just give up. You're not going to trade for Double B, are you? You're thinking about it, huh? I think you better start thinking about trying to figure out how you're going to put this team together. And then you got Aaron the liar and the snitch, or not the snitch, but Aaron the liar. Oh yeah. Oh, your office is starting to burn. Bye.
Yeah, the liar. His pants started everything ablaze.
Aaron Rodgers is a liar. He said he was gonna do this and he didn't. And I don't care for him anymore because he lied to everybody, making all this money and stuff. I'm gonna play. You see him in practice and all that. I don't think I'm gonna play. And there he is with a sweatshirt and whatever else he's got on. And Rob the Slob. Rob the Slob has a beard. I can't figure that out.
Hey, Michael, looks like Lori's got a request here for you.
What's that?
About moving your camera so you're in the middle of the frame.
There you go.
The technique in this training video.
We know who's going to win this game.
Put that graphic back up there. That's what it was.
Yeah, okay. We know who's going to win this game. Brownie the Elf. Brownie the Elf. Cleveland. No questions.
Okay, Bob.
We're going to go with the Browns.
Both teams are coming off wins last week.
The offensive line has had a big reason why this running game has stalled.
Here is Hall, shot out of a cannon, and he will score.
First down, fake it, bootleg, Flacco sets, throws, looking for separation. It's caught. Amari Cooper down the sideline for the touchdown.
Huge game for Amari Cooper last week.
Now, was he injured or something there at the end of that, Brian? Do you know?
I don't think so. He might be, but
looked a little like he had a little itch in his giddy up.
he did a lot of work, that's for sure. Well, this is going to be the last Thursday night football game for this season. It looks to me like it's going to be kind of a defensive slog, but whoever's going to be Trevor Siemian or Zach Wilson playing, I can see them throwing a turnover and leading to an easy touchdown for Cleveland here and there. Flacco's at 59%, 10 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and I think their offensive line in Cleveland is playing better this part of the season than they were early in the year. I'm picking Cleveland, so we're all down with the Browns to win this one.
Brownie the Elf.
Next game is going to be a good one. That's going to be the Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit Lions are 11-4 going to Dallas. Dallas is 10-5. Let's see.
What did Rob and Tim do?
They're down with Cleveland too. Tim is Cleveland and Rob is Cleveland as well.
Okay.
Did you have anything from Harris?
I did not yet get Harris's picks.
Okay.
Anyway, Detroit's coming off a victory.
Make the tackle. I mean, that's just selfish football by Ed Ingram. So now 3rd down and 18. Mullins going deep, and it is picked off. Second today for Kirby Joseph. Mullins over 400 yards today. From the 30 on 1st down. Mullins steps up. He throws. It is picked off. Melifonwu with the exclamation point.
That's just 2 of the 4 interceptions that Nick Mullins threw for.
I didn't realize he threw for that many yards.
411 yards, yeah, but 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
All right. Since we use the big screens, we're moving around. So What's that, Bob? Or okay, Michael, you go first.
Oh, another one with that. Ugh, the Lions. That's on Saturday night. Remember that.
Yes.
Remember that, guys. Saturday night. So you people in Dallas and Fort Worth and Arlington, make sure it's Saturday night because you got your NYE thing on Sunday night. So you can't get stuck in that traffic. Jerry, you're no bargain. You know, you're home. That's the only sad part about this. Okay? They say, oh, they win at home all the time. Who cares? You know why? Because Jared Goff and all those Lions, they're playing semi-indoors at Jerry. Yeah. Of course, Mr. Reynolds.
I
That's
thought
going to win the game. The Detroit Lions, 30. That's the magic number. 3-0. The number of years it took them to win the division. Dallas still hasn't won any Super Bowls in how many years? Okay, I rest my case.
95.
Right, whatever. I'm taking the Lions. Thank you very much.
Bob.
Well, Dallas is playing home again, and they always win, so I'm going to go with Dallas.
They have been tough at home. Keith?
Yeah, the Dallas is home, and I think they.
Stop, dog.
I know Dallas played real bad at Buffalo, and they lost again this last week on the road. And Lions, though, I just don't have a lot of confidence in what they've been doing the last 5 or 6 weeks. I think this game could be really close. I think the Lions could win it, but I'm going to go with Dallas to win it.
All right. Rob and Tim are also picking Dallas. And
That means I'm on the island.
Well,
so far,
Brian's got it.
so far you're on the island. But Detroit just clinched the NFC North title, so I'm not sure they're going to be fully invested in this game coming up. Goff will go over 4,000 yards probably in this game. He's got 27 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. And Detroit has a pretty good chance to come up with 2,000-yard running back rushers. One needs 70 yards, the other needs about 130 in these last 2 games. Getting enough quarterback pressure, that's kind of a problem with Detroit. And Dallas has been so tough in their home games. This could be a title game preview. Dallas is undefeated at home. They got a better pass rush. Parsons got 13 sacks. And DeMarcus Lawrence, the guy from KU on the defensive line, he played a great game against the rush last week, continually getting into the backfield and stopping running plays. I am going to pick Dallas. So, yeah, Mike, you are on
I
the
am on
island.
the island of misfit toys.
All right, the next game is the New England Patriots. They are 4-11, and they're going to Buffalo in this Battle of New York. They are 9-6.
9. Zappi steps up, flings to the end zone. Touchdown, Mike Gesicki.
And then brought him back, and I asked him in our meeting, well, how you doing now? And he goes, I'm in a better spot right now, but it's amazing playing a little bit, making a few plays, what that can do for your confidence.
Mims took the ball out, dropped it, picked it up, and then dropped it again. And the Patriots recover for the touchdown.
That was
I think no way. Not for a second. A gift they are keeping. Scrambling here. Nice move. Downfield. Gabe Davis got it. Davis in for the touchdown. 3rd and 4. The Chargers bring the heat. Allen puts it up for Grant. Shakir's open. He's got it at the 13. Gets back up down the sideline. And for the moment, ruled a touchdown.
Buffalo also coming on with victory. So somebody I think has a TV on in the background that's kind of coming through loud and clear. It's a little bit annoying. Bob, is that you? There we go. Let's start with Keith.
Patriots. I don't know. Bills are starting to play kind of exciting football again. Patriots coming off a win, but I don't know if they've got enough to hang with the Bills. I'm going to go with Buffalo.
All right. Mike?
I know who this could be.
Hello?
Yeah, I knew it was you, Double B. Uh-huh. You all packed up. You got that big fat. You got that fat coat that makes you look like a watermelon. A New England watermelon. Uh-huh. I know there's not much snow up there. And my man, and I know you still gotta have confidence in my man Zappy. But man, does your team stink? You can't even hang on to the football sometimes. Oh my God. And Josh Allen, you gonna play Josh Allen? Oh man, you gotta find a way to tackle him. Uh-huh. Maybe the running backs will, maybe the run will help. They got no running game still, but hey, what are you gonna do? Yeah, Double B, enjoy your last 2 games before you go to retirement. Maybe you'll take Al's place at the prime, because Al is just fed up. Uh-huh. Yeah. All right. Bye-bye. Double B, he's gonna look like he's gonna look like one of those freaking marshmallows in his jacket. That's what I'm thinking. Josh Allen right now has played great the last 2 or 3 weeks. Not the best quarterback in the last 2 or 3 weeks, but decent enough. And that means it's decent enough because Buffalo needs this game. And maybe they'll walk all over New England. And the guy in the Patriot mask is going to have to learn how to stand up. So give me the Bills.
Bob?
I'm going to go against you guys. Zappy played good last week, and I'm going with New England this week.
All right. I think I'm the only one that hasn't gone yet. Or has Keith gone? Keith, have you gone?
No,
yet?
I took the Bills.
Yeah, he took the Bills. So I'm up. I'm not sure Zappy can string together some drives against Buffalo's defense. They have a tough defense. But the thing that Buffalo is doing the last 2 weeks, they are running the football with James Cook. He's got over 1,000 yards, 5.0 average. Josh Allen became the first quarterback in NFL history to get 40 touchdowns throwing and running in 4 consecutive seasons. That's never been done before. So defense is 4th rated. And I think the team overall is more physical than they've ever been. I'm picking Buffalo.
So Bob, and who are the
Rob
others?
and Tim.
Rob has Buffalo, and Tim also has Buffalo.
I'm on that island.
Now you're on the island. Nice place to be.
Well, our next game is the Atlanta Falcons, 7-8, going to Chicago to play the Chicago Bears, who are 6-9.
Part of the issue is, your quarterback's turned it over 16 times so far this year.
Fisk blocking, Algier running.
Goodbye.
Big run for Algier into the end zone.
Couldn't do it. 3rd down and 10. Cardinals rush 4. They've got a spy out there for Fields. Fields is going to run the opposite direction of the spy. He pumps. He's got the 1st down and 4. High stepping down the sidelines and slides safely home across the 15.
Yeah, both teams coming off victories. I think it's my turn to go first this time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Atlanta is 8th in the league in rushing, but do you know who the number 1 team is in the NFL in stopping the rush? Believe it or not, it's the Bears.
What's up, Bears?
It's kind of an underrated defense. Their secondary is not great, but they have stopped the run. In the last 2 road games, Chicago has beat Minnesota. They only lost to Cleveland by 3. And Fields is auditioning to keep the starting job, and hopefully they don't draft a quarterback in the first round in the draft coming up this summer. Could be Chicago's already made up their minds, but Fields is playing pretty well. I am picking Chicago. Michael?
Okay. Wow. You got Atlanta and the Bears. Okay. I'd like to know, first of all, how many people are actually going to watch this game on TV? Okay. This is awful. They're playing outdoors. Justin Fields is a heck of a runner, but I don't know if he's going to have a job next year. I really, really don't. Atlanta, I've given up on them. Robinson, oh, yippee, big deal. And who's starting at quarterback? Heineke, the beer? I don't know. Or Ritter the rudder? I don't know. And does it really matter? No. Even though I got to make a pick on this game, even though maybe 1,000 people maybe will be there, give me the Bears.
All right, Keith?
Yeah, this game doesn't offer a lot of excitement for this year. And personally, I think the Bears would make a mistake by drafting a quarterback in the first round. I think they'd be better off just trying to build around Fields, even though I don't think Fields is necessarily a superstar or anything. I think it's just kind of taking a step back or lateral anyway to draft another quarterback in the first round when you could take Harrison and a good offensive tackle or something. And these two teams, I think, yes, it's not all that exciting of a matchup this year, but I think both these teams could be playoff contenders next year.
That's next year.
As far as this week, the Bears are still trying to decide a lot of things, and maybe their coach won't be back, but their defense under Eberflus is playing very, very well. And with that being said, and they're at home, Falcons, although Heineke, I guess, played fairly decent this last weekend, I think the Bears defense is going to be causing enough trouble for Atlanta that they don't score a lot of points. And I think Fields will make enough big plays, find DJ Moore a couple times. Maybe they can get Herbert to make a couple of good runs, and the Bears will pull this game out.
Okay, Bob?
I think the Bears are going to win this when the Falcons aren't doing very good. So I'm going with the Bears.
Okay, Rob is going with Atlanta, and Tim has Chicago. So it looks like Rob is on the island in this
Rob's on the island this time. Woo!
Mm-hmm. All right, next game is the Las Vegas Raiders. They are 7-8. They're going to the Giants to play the New York Giants, who are 5-10.
Really?
Look at this. Ball's on the ground. Ball's on the ground. Picked up by the Raiders. But they have a touchdown with Nichols.
Little chip shot kick.
Mahomes throws, and he's picked off. And this one's going back for a touchdown. 2 steps, 2 defensive touchdowns, and it's Jack Jones who had a pick 6 last week. And
Colts, right, Brian?
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, Colts. What is it?
You said
the
my
Giants.
team.
Oh, Giants. Oh, sorry about that. It is the Colts.
All right.
I have it written down wrong. Right, I have read it wrong. So, yeah, Colts are 8-7. They are not coming off a win. Las Vegas is coming off a win over Kansas City. Let's go with Bob first.
Um,
Oh, wait a minute. Let me get this right.
let's go with the Colts.
Okay, Colts.
Say it again, Bob. Now you're on the big screen.
The Colts.
The Colts, okay.
All right, Keith, you're next.
I'm going to go with the Raiders on this one. Defense is playing good. Coaching seems to be doing a good job. Offense isn't all that exciting. Colts play some interesting games at home, some exciting games at home, but I just think the Raiders are right now that they're playing good enough. I kind of think that they'll finish pretty good these last couple of weeks. Not necessarily win both of them, but I think they'll finish playing good football.
Rob and Tim are also taking the Raiders. And Michael, who are you going to take?
I don't know yet. Let's find. Excuse me.
The Raider Chiefs game was a clown show last week.
Hello.
Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes.
Gardner, baby. You got to shave that beard. Yeah, that beard is horrendous. I saw you on the pregame last week, man. You gotta wear one of those fancy Hawaiian shirts. You gotta look like you're going back in the 70s with the boots, with the pointy boots, like John Revolting used to wear.
Right into the adult film.
Yeah, but you gotta shave that beard off so people know who you are, because you're supposed to have the best mustache in the league. Yeah, Kazunite, I know. Anyway, you gotta deal with what's his name? You gotta deal with the Raiders. And they were a pissed off bunch of people yesterday. Ooh, man. But you gotta give my coach my coach, he was a coach he played for my team. He played for the Giants for all these years. Yeah, you gotta be careful with him. All right, Gardner. Yeah. Kazunite. Okay. Bye. That was Minshew, Kazunite. You know, the Colts took a beating they took a beating last week. I think, though, that they have two advantages, but one's not even an advantage. One, they're indoors, but the Raiders play indoors. So that's not really much of an advantage. But here's the old Michael theory. The Raiders played yesterday. 1 day less than the Colts did. Colts are home. You know, Minshew, Kazunite.
And West going east, is that anything to do with it?
To get his receivers and the running game going, and we're gonna take the little horsies to beat them. Minshew.
Antonio Pierce of the Raiders, their temporary head coach, is trying to get that permanent head coach job, and he's doing a pretty good job of it. He's 4-3, ran up 63 points on the Chargers, beat the Chiefs at Arrowhead. I think he should be the permanent head coach. Las Vegas is still alive for the playoffs. They're still alive for the division title. If Kansas City loses their last two games and they win their last two games, if Denver wins their last two games, we could have a three-way tie that goes down to the third tiebreaker. The thing about Vegas is their defense has been gradually improving, and the guy that's coming on is the defensive end opposite of Crosby, Malcolm Kuntz. Had an outstanding game pressuring Mahomes last week. Indianapolis is coming off a huge letdown against Atlanta last week, but Minshew has been pretty good, 63%, 14 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Indianapolis is going to have to protect the quarterback and match Las Vegas physically, but their defense is ranked 28 in the NFL, and I think that'll give Vegas enough breathing room to win the game. I'm thinking Vegas. Next game is the Rams at the New York Giants. Los Angeles Rams are 8-7, and the Giants are 5-10.
Kyron Williams set out wide to the left. You've got Kupp in motion. Stafford looking one way, then the other. Throws caught. Demarcus Robinson having the night of nights. Touchdown.
Yeah, Demarcus Robinson had a great night last week. Who's first? Let's see.
Who wants to be first? You want
Michael, go ahead. You're the Giants fan.
No, I'm the Giants fan. Yeah, I know. But you never know. These people watch the show.
Your friend is attempting to reach you on your cellular device. Your friend is
I have a friend. Wow. Wow, I have a friend. Hello. Tommy. Tommy Cutlets. Pretty soon it's going to be Tommy Piscetti. Maybe Tommy Meatball. You know? You lost your restaurant deal. You lost your money for that. You lost your sanity. The only thing you found was the bench. You know? Oh, poor Tommy Cutlets. You know, like I said, it's going to be Tommy Meatball pretty soon. You had Saquon. Did you see that throw your buddy made yesterday? Yeah. You wish you could throw like that. I know. Oh, well. You go have fun. Enjoy the bench. And we'll see you at the meatball signing. Right. Bye. Tommy goes from chicken cutlets to Tommy meatballs, maybe meat sauce. Pafford's got the receivers. Giants don't have a secondary. That's good. I hate to say this, but I'm going to. The only good thing is that we're home, but that don't mean nothing. You know, West Coast, East Coast thing. You know, East Coast, West Coast. The Rams need this game. The Giants are getting the golf clubs ready. Give me the Rams.
Bob?
Yeah, give me the Rams.
All right. Let's see. Keith?
I like the Rams too. Their offense seems to be playing pretty good football. Defense isn't playing bad football. Giants, you know, they kind of hang around sometimes, but
they got no secondary.
Rams are still pushing for playoff relevancy, and I think they'll stay in the hunt for that.
Okay, Rob and Tim are both liking the Rams, and the Rams are coming off a mini bye, whereas New York has a short week. Rams have not clinched yet. They got to keep their foot on the gas pedal. They're playing confident football. Stafford's red hot, 24 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. And they found a running back, Kyron Williams, has 1,057 yards, 5.1 yard average. I don't think there's anybody out there that wants to face the Rams in the playoffs. DeVito got benched last week for Tyrod Taylor. I don't know how that's going to work out. Barkley needs 123 yards to get to 1,000. He's got 2 weeks to do it. He'll probably get there. But I am picking the Rams, so we are all together on the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we got the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona is 3-12. They're going to Philadelphia to play the Eagles.
The Eagles.
And they are 11-4.
Second down and 10, just a three-man rush. Hurts with time, Smith's wide open. Devontae Smith, touchdown Philadelphia.
Michael, do you want to go first?
Yeah. I don't even need a phone call to make, okay? I don't have to speak to the Philly coach. I don't have to call Devontae. I don't have to call anybody from Arizona, man. You guys got your suntan, your sunburn. You got Kyler who runs, maybe gets 20, 30 yards for the day. But yesterday, all I did was see throw the ball, catch the ball, throw the ball, catch the ball. Kenneth Gainwell gets the ball, touchdown. The tush push. They tried a new version of it. It worked. I can't see Arizona in this game. I think Philly will win. I think Philly will win it big, but St. Louis will probably just score maybe 10 points.
All right. Let's go with Keith next.
Yeah, I have absolutely no temptation at all to take the Cardinals. And so I'm just going to make it easy and go with the Eagles.
Okay. Bob?
The Eagles easy. The Cardinals aren't going to score hardly anything.
Rob and Tim are both picking the Philadelphia Eagles. Arizona's only got one road win all season. Their offense is 26, defense is 31st. That's pretty low, and they can't muster a pass rush. So I think it's a chance for the Eagles to beat up an inferior opponent and get ready for their playoff run. DeAndre Swift just needs 12 yards to get to 1,000, and they've already got two 1,000-yard receivers in A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. They're both over 1,000. It's a clean sweep on this channel for the Eagles. Next up, the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. New Orleans is 7-8. Tampa Bay is 8-7. Tampa Bay is coming off a win last week.
With a couple tight ends, Mayfield to the air, Worth the block, touchdown, Evans.
So the safety has to rotate over to try and help, and a quick slant.
1st and 10. Oh, it's caught! What a throw! And what a terrific touchdown reception!
Yeah, Mike Evans just keeps going on and on. Who would like to go first on this one?
Bob, go ahead.
All right. I'm going to take New Orleans.
Game's important to both teams, for sure. Keith?
I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. I think they might be the best team in that division, and it might be time for them to create a little separation in the standings. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay.
All right, I'll go next. Let's see. New Orleans is coming off a tough loss to the Rams. They can still win the AFC South. They're coming off a mini bye, and their secondary is pretty good. So their secondary could challenge Baker Mayfield. But Tampa, on the other hand, is one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. Baker has 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Said this week he'd be happy to stay long-term with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I think Tampa Bay is in the driver's seat for the division title. I think they'll take that division title. I'm with Tampa Bay. Rob and Tim are picking Tampa. Mike?
We Michael.
Star Wars.
Hello? Yes, Todd. I know. You got Baker there with you? All right, listen. This is what you're going to do. All right? First of all, keep Mayfield away from the strip clubs. All right? We don't need that. And then tell Baker that he makes sure that his eyes are open and you keep your eye on the New Orleans safeties because they're damn good. And be very careful with them. I know you got Evans and you got a semi-decent running game. And tell your defense, find a way to beat up on Derek Carr if he's starting. And then Kamara won't do anything once Carr gets hurt. And, Michael Thomas, big deal. I hate to say it, but the Saints aren't marching. The Saints won't be marching in that time. Yeah, make sure. But make sure that Baker doesn't do anything stupid. Yeah, right. See, I give all this advice to all these people. They got to listen to me. Baker Mayfield, this is probably one of Baker's most important games of his life. I don't know when the last time he was in the playoffs. Was he in the play? Has he been in the playoffs? Who knows? Was he in the playoffs with Cleveland? I don't know. He's been bouncing around all over the league. But
yeah, I think he had 1 year where he did race the playoffs.
Oh, 1 year. No, this is the time. This is the focus. This is focus time, guys. Let's take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Bucs will be rolling possibly into the playoffs. There's one problem, though. They're going to have to play one of those two Eastern teams.
He brought the Browns in Arrowhead in the playoffs, I believe, 1 year, and it didn't go well. Let's see.
Tampa's going to win.
Okay. Next up, we got the San Francisco 49ers going to D.C. to play the Washington Commanders. San Francisco is 11-4, and you can flip that for Washington. They are 4-11. Who'd like to go first?
Oh, I'm the Commander fan here, so I guess it'll be me.
Okay.
You know, what a time for Washington to get San Francisco right after they get their tail kicked on their home field by the Ravens team. So they're going to be nice and mad, and of course the Commanders, I don't even know if they really give a flip at this point. So San Francisco should just walk in there and easily pull out a win. And that sounds like my prediction. I'm going to go with the 49ers to win this one really easily.
Okay, Mike?
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Riverboat.
You got a hater, huh?
Riverboat.
Hello? Ron, are you packing up all your stuff? Are you packing up your Redskin gear? Your Washington football team gear?
I think Rob's packing
and
his
your
stuff
Commanders gear? You got to get it all together because you got to pack your suitcase. It's going to be probably 3 or 4 cases. Yeah. Especially, Ron. Your riverboat gambling days are over. You might as well just pack up and go to Louisiana where gambling is legal. Maybe you can make up for some of that money that you lost. And maybe you make it up to the fans, too. Okay. Bye-bye. Riverboat Ron, not a happy camper. He's in the middle of packing. San Francisco, pissed off. Purdy bad last night. CMC, 2 touchdowns. Did you hear about that man last night? He had an 8-player parlay. Okay? He had these 8 people that had to score touchdowns. 8 different players. He had every one. The last one was McCafferty. Once McCafferty scored that touchdown, the guy won almost $500,000 on a 14-player parlay. All right?
I thought you said 8.
Huh?
I thought you said 8.
That was early, but it ended up being a 14-player parlay. Anyway, 49ers run all over the Commanders, and they're going to have to find a new general, and it can't be General Mills. Okay? 49ers.
I'll go next. Let's see. The San Francisco's coming off a short week and the East Coast trip. They need to get their momentum back for the playoffs. And the number 1 bye also is not secure. George Kittle had a great game last week. CMC also, CMC is, I think, still in the most valuable player race because he's only 68 yards away from 2,000 total yards for the season.
Amazing.
He's had an amazing year.
Again.
Purdy is 69% with 4,000 yards, but now he came into the game with 7 interceptions. Now he's got 11 to 29 touchdown. I don't know what that's going to do to his psyche, throwing 4 interceptions in one game. Washington, they fired Jack Del Rio before week 13. That's not the problem. They've given up 48 points, 28 points, and 30 points on defense since then. Allowed 60 sacks. Maybe they should play Brissett. Limited time, he's at 78% with 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. I like their OC, Eric Bieniemy. I think the Chiefs miss Bieniemy quite a bit. He is a hard-nosed guy. He would not settle for some of the clown stuff that's been going on with our wide receivers. He would not tolerate that. Everybody's on San Francisco, including Rob and Tim, and we have not heard from Bob yet.
Yeah, I'm going to go with, I think San Francisco is going to come back from their loss last night and crushed the Washington team.
Our next game is the Carolina Panthers going to Jacksonville. Carolina's 2-13. Jacksonville is 8-7. And try guessing. Who wants to try guessing first? What's going to come out of these two teams?
Well, I might as well just start out on the island. I'm going to pick the big upset here. I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers. Lawrence, I don't know. He might not be healthy enough to play. I just have a feeling that the Panthers are going to be one of the upset winners this week.
Okay, Bob?
I'm going to have to go with the Panthers. I mean, not the Panthers, but the Jaguars. Panthers can't win.
Thanks for putting a pin in my balloon there, Bob.
What's that?
Thanks for deflating my balloon there right away.
Oh, okay.
You're leaving me stranded there.
Michael?
This, Trevor got it. I think Trevor better cut his hair. Hi, kitty. It doesn't matter if he's hurt or not. They still got Etienne. They got what's his name on defense? Who's got the same name as the guy in
Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh Allen. He's good. Their defense has to wake up, and they're playing at home. The only good thing that the Carolina Panthers actually did. The only thing the Carolina Panthers did good was they drafted CMC, and we got to see the beginning of how good he really was. So with that, we'll go with the home of AE Dub, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, Rob and Tim both picked Jacksonville. Looks like on the graphic here that Jacksonville is in a cage. I think they're coming out of that cage. They've not been playing very well, and they got some problems. Lawrence came out of concussion protocol and walked into a shoulder injury. Plus, he's dealing with ankle trouble. So he may play. We might see C.J. Beathard. But the team just lost to Cleveland, Baltimore, and Tampa Bay, three of the hottest teams in football. So to them, it maybe it looked like a little bit of a breather game. Carolina players are fighting for their individual jobs, but I think Jacksonville will steady the sinking ship. Carolina is beginning to think that Bryce Young will be their quarterback of the future, and they're battling hard, but they're 2-13. I've got to go with Jacksonville. Next up, we got the Miami Dolphins, and this is a very big game. Miami Dolphins, 11-4, going to Baltimore, 12-3, and this is pretty much for the number one seed in the AFC.
Fun here on Christmas against the 49ers. 4th and goal. End zone shot. Another interception. This one for Marcus Williams. And that is that. A 5-interception game for Mike McDonald's defense. Wilson, he's going to have a first down to the 10. No timeouts left for Dallas. He's got it. Miami is in the playoffs.
And that was Miami getting an end of game drive to defeat the Dallas Cowboys. You'd like to go first on this one?
I'll do it.
Good, Mike.
Okie dokie. Because I think somebody's going to be trying to get a hold of me. I don't know why, but yep. Yep, somebody's gonna get a hold of me. Hello. Uh-huh. Yeah, Lamar. I know. Big shot Lamar. Uh-huh. The only time you smile is when you see your homeboys. Big shot Lamar. Uh-huh. I love the run you had last night where you just zigged and zagged and went this way and that way and Scooby-Doo and Yippee-Dippy-Doo and whatever. I didn't even stay up to watch you. That's how good you played. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Don't forget. Listen, make sure Justin can try and hit another 50-yard field goal. Okay. Uh-huh. And OBJ? OBJ. Oh boy. Oh, just give him OJ. Uh-huh. Bye. Oh, I don't want to hear from Lamar. You want to know something? Lamar had a wonderful night last night, okay? I was talking about his wonderful run when he zigged and he zagged and he did and he did. He pulled one of those John Madden things last night, you know?
Did he play better than Johnny Cutlets?
Huh?
Did he play better than Johnny Cutlets?
I mean Tommy.
Tommy Cutlets.
Tommy Cutlets. Tommy Cutlets is like Tommy Meatball or meat sauce. Anyway.
Well, I guess maybe
everybody's going to go with them. But again, here's the difference. The difference is that one day coming from the West Coast to the East Coast, and I have a lot of faith in the Fish, and they're going to play their hearts out in this game because you know why? You know who their last game is against? The New England Patriots. I have a feeling that a lot of these players are going to be sitting on the bench next week getting ready for their playoff game. So I'm going to go probably on the island and go with the Fish.
This is the kind of team. I just don't know if the Dolphins match up against the more physical teams, well-balanced teams, good defensive teams, and plus they're on the road here. Don't know what the weather's going to be. Not sure it really matters, but Ravens are just playing so good this year, and they might be the best team right now. I'll go with Baltimore.
Okay, Bob?
I'm going to go with Baltimore. I don't think they can beat the Fishies. Fishies didn't really play that well last week.
So you're taking Baltimore?
Yes.
Yes, okay. All right, then. Both teams are coming off franchise wins. Miami beating Baltimore and then Baltimore beating everybody's favorite, San Francisco. A couple of weeks ago, I thought that Miami's offensive line was showing some signs of disintegrating with injuries, but they did not. They've been doing a great job protecting Tua. And I actually think Tua is a little bit better passer than Lamar is. Waddle injured his ankle, so I don't know if he's available next week. It's kind of hard to tell on Tuesday who for sure is available. But in this game, we got two wide receivers that are pretty much uncoverable. That's Tyreek Hill for Miami and Zay Flowers for Baltimore. Baltimore, their offensive coordinator, they got from Georgia. He was their coordinator when Georgia won 2 national titles, Todd Monken. And I like running his offense. I think he runs a very highly entertaining offense. I love that big, huge fullback they run, number 42, Ricard. He's a battering ram, like an extra offensive lineman. So you can outnumber people with big people on their run game, and it works out really well. Kyle Hamilton, their star safety back there, he had a great game, but he might have picked up an injury, so I'm not sure if he's going to be playing. But I'm with Keith. I think Baltimore is too physical for Miami. I think Baltimore wins this game. Rob is picking Miami.
Oh.
So, Mike, you're not on an island, and Tim is picking Baltimore. But that could be that game could be the game of the week. Next game is the Tennessee Titans, who are 5-10, playing at the Texans. Houston is 8-7. I'll go ahead and go first on this one. Tennessee is not the same team as they are when they're at home. When they're on the road, they have not been very good. And last week, their injury report had 21 names on that injury report. They are kind of a beat-up football team. On the other hand, Houston looks like they're getting C.J. Stroud back. He was able to practice some last week, coming back from concussion protocol. Stroud has 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. And they're part of that three-way AFC South league, all three teams that are 8-7. It seems like since week 11, the Texans will lose one, then they win one, then they lose one, then they win one. They're due for a win. I've noticed too, Singletary has played better than he did when he was with Buffalo, and maybe because Houston puts more attention to the running game. I thought Singletary in Buffalo was not a very good running back, but he's having a very good season. I didn't write it down, but I think he's already got 1,000 yards this year. Nico Collins has 1,000 yards receiving for Houston with 64 catches. I'm picking Houston to win this game. Let's go with Keith.
I was just going to start talking, but this one I've been going back and forth. I originally had Houston, then I got to thinking, I don't know, their quarterback hadn't been playing, but he might be coming back. Wasn't so sure. Kind of started thinking maybe the Titans would win this one, even though they're on the road. I'm just not really feeling that, though. The more and more I think about this, I think I'm going to go back to my original pick, and I'm going to go with the Houston Texans to win this.
Usually our first thought's the best.
Yeah.
Michael?
Oh, what a game this is going to be. You got Ryan Tannehill. He's starting against C.J. Stroud. I am going to make a Michael prediction. I don't even have to answer the phone. I don't have to call nobody. This is my thought. This is the end of the Derrick Henry era, but that's not my spoiler. My spoiler is that C.J. Stroud will throw for over 350 yards and have 3 touchdowns. I like the Texans, and I think they're going to win big. Spoiler alert.
Bob?
I'm going with the Titans. I know they're the lower ranked team, but I still like them better.
You're not alone. Tim likes the Titans as well. Keith, I forgot to write yours down. Who did you say?
I settled back on the Texans. I kind of waffled back and forth on it, but I'm going to go back to the Texans.
Don't forget, Keith, waffles are good.
Yeah, especially with some chicken.
I haven't tried that yet.
No, I haven't really either, but it looks interesting, like an interesting combination.
I'm ready to try it.
Yeah.
Next up, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are 8-7, and they're going to Seattle in the 12th man. They are also 8-7. Both teams are coming off victories last week.
In their last 8, they have struggled mightily through the year, hoping this is the game to turn around. And Rudolph with his first completion. It's Pickens in stride. There he goes. The explosion. Pickens. Goodbye. Touchdown. 86 yards.
Smith, end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown. Kobe Parkinson.
All right, who'd like to go first on this one?
I will.
Okay, Bob.
I think I'm going to give the home team advantage to Seattle.
I think that is a big advantage because, Pittsburgh's coming in there with a third-string quarterback. Unless Pickett can go, it's a little bit of a question still, but he may not be ready. Michael?
Oh, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a lucky game last week, but I know on the island he's acting like a geek. The 12th man is gonna find him, and it will be okay. I hope they wear those uniforms, lime and green, and then they'll win the game. The 12th man and Seattle makes the difference. Go Seahawks.
I was all the way with you, Michael, until you brought up those ugly uniforms.
Oh, I love those uniforms.
But yeah, I mean, post Christmas, Rudolph's got to be exhausted. He can't pull out a win up there in the Northwest in that 12th man, real loud stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Seahawks.
You don't like those uniforms, huh?
No,
I don't either. I'm not big on those either. Sporting News gives the Pittsburgh Steelers a 4.5 chance to make the playoffs. They're still alive for the playoffs, but it's a slim hope. And I'm with you, the 12th man. I don't know if a third string quarterback can deal with the noise and win on the road like that. Seattle's 5-2 at home. Pittsburgh is bringing TJ Watt, 17 sacks with 33 quarterback hits. So that's going to be certainly a concern for Geno Smith. Seattle, with a win, they're going to be in the playoffs. But if they get in the playoffs, I think they're going to be one and done. So I was kind of thinking about that. With the veterans on this team, because they got some older veterans, do they care more about ending the season or going to the playoffs when they think they're going to lose in the first round?
Think about who the coach is.
He's pretty old, too. He may be ready to wrap it up also.
Nah. Not Petey.
Now, Petey, you're right. Petey is a fighter. So I'm down with Seattle on this game. However, Rob and Tin are both picking Pittsburgh in this game.
Boom. Am I on the island?
No.
Good.
No, we're all Seattle except Rob and Tim. We got Pittsburgh. Next up, we got the Los Angeles Chargers. They are 5-10 going to Denver to play the Broncos. Broncos are 7-8. I'll go first.
Mm-hmm.
Easton Stick has, I said the Chargers last week are stuck with Stick, but he wasn't that bad. He was 66% with 3 touchdowns, 1 interceptions. The players are playing for their individual futures. Eckler needs only 35 yards to get to 1,000 total for the season. And Denver is coming off 2 disappointing losses to Detroit and New England, and I'm kind of wondering if that's going to pretty much kill off their will to compete. Denver still has a chance for the playoffs. They even have a slight chance to win the division should Kansas City lose their last 2 and they win their last 2. And their last game is going to be against Vegas, so they got some say over that. It could be that they don't really like their head coach, Sean Payton, and they want the season to end. But I'm going to bet against that. I think I'm going to go ahead and take Denver to beat the Chargers, who played with a lot more enthusiasm last week under the interim head coach than they did ever for Brendan Staley. Who's next? Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to take that back. I'm going to pick the Chargers. I'm going to change that. I'm going to pick the Chargers by 1.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let Michael pick. Since he was
Yellow. Yeah, Sean. Sean, you left TV. I know why you left TV. Because anytime you wore those suits and ties, the freaking tie was showing your flubbery neck. His neck was always flubbery. Have you ever seen it? And he always wore his shirt wrong. He just felt like he was Frankenstein, not moving around.
Who are you talking to?
You got to learn, and don't forget. I know you're back out on the bench, and I know it snowed a little bit. Not much in Denver, but it snowed a little bit. And don't forget, Ciara's there, so she has the advantage over you right now, because you're only there a year. She's been there, 7, 8 years? The Chargers, the only thing good about the Superchargers is that powder blue uniform. Otherwise, they're busy heading for the golf course looking for Pebble Beach. So I'm going to take the Broncos, and I'm going to just say, hey, have fun. Bye. Okay, I'm taking the Broncos.
Gotcha.
Well, I was looking at this as like, the Broncos got to clear a couple hurdles. They are at home, though. That should help in the thin air as far as pitching. First they got to be able to deal with Stick, and then if they get by handling Stick, then they got to be able to handle Dicker. So if they can beat Stick and Dicker, I think the Broncos will win. And I think Stick and Dicker are in for a long day. I'm going to go with the Broncos.
That sounds like a law firm.
Broncos didn't play very well last week. So I'm going with the Chargers.
Thank you, Bob. I'm with you. Rob and Tim are both with Denver in this game.
Oh, we only have to hear that one more week from the Chargers.
All right, next up we got the Cincinnati Bengals, 8-7, coming to Kansas City to play the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are 9-6. I'll go first on this one, as the Chiefs are my team.
Yeah, you got to admit that, huh?
Yeah, I'm still going to admit it after last week. Defense did not play bad. Offense was a clown show. Even Romo was playing the yeah, it was a clown show on the offense for sure.
Yakety sacks.
But the defense did not allow but 6 points, 2 field goals, and the secondary did not allow a completed pass after the first quarter. L'Jarius Sneed is playing out of his mind. He totally shut down Devontae Adams. He did have a penalty, but if you hold him to nothing, penalty is okay to me.
I saw he was in the tent there for a little bit. Was he okay?
Yeah, he's okay. He came back out and played. 2-4 in their last 6 games. The team is tired. Like Antonio Pierce told the Raiders before they came in, he said Kansas City is tired and frustrated. I see a chance to out-physical them, and that's what the Raiders did. Our offensive line might be missing 2 starters. Donovan Smith has been out with a stinger in his neck. And Trey Smith didn't look healthy when he was playing, and he ended up getting replaced by Allegretti, who's pretty decent. But they might be without two starters. Their wide receivers, we've been talking about this all year long, but MVS has completely disappeared. Sky Moore has completely disappeared. And Reed took over the play calling from Mike Nagy about halfway through the game because it was going so badly. Those 7 seconds, the 2 plays, and then people are wondering, put that back up there, Lori. People are wondering since Tony Romo called Travis Smith and Taylor Swift his wife for the 2nd time.
I know, that was greatness.
Yeah, and people are wondering since Travis became Mr. Smith, is he playing as well? He had a couple plays where he looked young again last week, but he generally has not had the season that we're accustomed to seeing him have. Cincinnati, they may not have Chase, so Snead will probably be on T. Higgins. Browning was confused by the zone defenses Pittsburgh was throwing at him. Kansas City doesn't play a lot of zone defense. They play some, but they usually play man-to-man. Cincinnati will have a better feeling for how Kansas City plays. And I think because we play a lot of man-to-man, they may be able to run the ball.
Stop.
Pretty good against us. Oh, boy. I'm still picking Kansas City because that defense is still number 2 in the league. But this could be another I can't say it on the air.
Garbage show?
Yeah, something show.
Right. I got something for it.
Okay, Mike, you go next.
Wait a minute. I gotta make sure I have it right. I don't need the phone for this one. I could talk to Coach Andy and his nuggies and all that. But we know.
Yeah, it's all over last week.
Put the 3 rings out there and so.
Andy, baby,
Oh,
Andy,
you can talk to him
Andy, what the
anyway.
hell are you doing? Yeah, I know. Yes, Mr. Swift. Mr. Swift is doing his thing. I know that. I thought I was the only one that was having ear trouble when Tony, our hero Tony. Did you see him yesterday? Did you see he didn't even have a collar on? He had a sweatshirt on, and Jim looked professional, and Tony had his gold chain on. He must have gotten that from his wife and Kitty's. And that helmet and that elf hat. Oh my God, he was trying to cover his eyes. I don't blame him after watching the first half of that game. Yeah, Andy, you got to figure out what you're doing. You got to put these guys together. Threaten them. No cheeseburger party if you win. Right? If you don't win, they don't get cheeseburgers. And make sure Travis don't hang out with Taylor when the kickoff starts, and don't let him sneak upstairs, and don't let him come downstairs, and don't let him bang his helmet and break it for the world to see. Yeah, I know it's the Bungles, but what are you gonna do? The only thing I'm worried about. Okay. All right, Andy. Yeah. All right. Bye. You heard me. Andy, let me tell you something. About this game. I am worried if the Bengals are going to wear those Tiger uniforms again with the Tiger helmets. Those things are cool. The white and black, love them. It's going to be Browning. If Browning gets his first 10 passes, if he goes like 8 or 9 for 10, oh boy, you better watch out. But thank goodness Kansas City is home. So I'm gonna go. Cincinnati. This is a game they both need. But the world revolves around home teams. So the pressure is on. I don't know if the Bengals can handle this kind of pressure. I don't think so. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Travis, when he first started dating Taylor Swift, he was looking up to the box quite a bit during the game. He doesn't do that
yes
anymore. But Bob, who do you got in this game?
I think I'm going to go with the Brownies. Cincinnati.
Wow.
And I'm going to go with the Chiefs. Browning looked a little like he wasn't as good this last week. I don't know how to put it.
He was confused.
Yeah, he was. And before that, he was looking pretty good. But, man, this is going into a loud place. It's getting close to the playoffs. Chiefs need it. I'll go with Kansas City.
Rob is picking Kansas City, and Tim has Cincinnati.
Whoa!
Our last NFL game is the Green Bay Packers at the Minnesota Vikings. Green Bay is 7-8, and Minnesota is also 7-8.
At Christmas Eve, Love to throw, end zone, catch made, Romeo Dobbs with a Packer touchdown.
Who'd like to take this game?
I'll take it.
Oh, go ahead, Bob.
I'll take the Minnesota Vikings. Stop, dog.
All right, Keith.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Vikings, too, not for much more reason than they're at home. Green Bay winning consecutive weeks. I just don't know if I can see that happening for this time around. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Vikings.
Kitty. Me. I'm going to tell you right now, I think more people are going to be watching the WWE on their opening night than this piece of garbage game. Oh, I don't even know if this game's going to mean anything by Sunday night. You know, this might be a battle.
That's not the last week of the year.
This might be just a battle for NFC bragging rights, as what did Chris Berman used to call it? The Norris division.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, remember that?
Yep.
Detroit, Minnesota, Chicago, and Green Bay. The Norris division. There's no Green Bay Thunder and Lightning theory on this game because Green Bay's on the road. I think Jefferson is going to just make about 7 or 8 catches. I think the Vikings are going to find a way, and I think Minnesota will win this game over Jordan Love.
Okay, both teams still have a slight chance as we speak to make the playoffs, but you're right. By the time they play, that might be settled. Green Bay is battling several injuries. Musgrave, their tight end, is out. Watson's doubtful. Jair Alexander couldn't play last week. A.J. Dillon couldn't play last week. He has an injured thumb. So Green Bay's got a young team, and they might be a little bit too beat up at this point in the season. Minnesota got Justin Jefferson back last week, but they lost Hawkinson and Addison in injuries to the Lions. And what a strange game Mullins had last week. 411 yards passing, but 4 interceptions. And I think that was a result of losing Hawkinson and Addison. He kind of got tunnel vision trying to look for Jefferson all the time without 2 of his top 3 targets. Like Minnesota's defense, their linebackers are 2 of the very best. Danielle Hunter has 15.5 sacks. DJ Wonnum 8 sacks. They're 2 of the top linebackers in the league. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Minnesota on this pick. Rob has Green Bay, so he's on an island, and Tim's got Minnesota. Mike, you picked Minnesota, right?
Me? I took the Vikings, absolutely.
Yeah, Minnesota.
Ooh.
All right, that concludes our NFL games. Let's take a look at the lockbox from last week. First of all, let's see. Anthony Cooks was with us last week, and he picked Philadelphia.
Dun, 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 dun.
Ding. Yeah, that worked out. Let's see. Rob had the Broncos. Not so good. Bob, you had the Dolphins.
Ding. Dun, dun, dun.
That was a big franchise run for them. Keith had Buffalo, and that worked.
Ding. Yeah, the Chargers, that's right.
Tim had the Detroit Lions.
Dun, 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 dun.
Tim won.
Barely. Yeah.
They won.
They won.
Mike had the Commanders.
Sorry.
Let's see. Harris had Cincinnati. And Brian had Green Bay. I don't have an extra Green Bay helmet, so that worked.
You had Green Bay?
Yeah, I had Green Bay. All right, so let's see. Picking our locks this week, Tim gave me his order of picks, and excuse me, also Rob gave me his order of picks. I don't have Harris's picks. So Rob lost. Tim won. Let's let Rob go first. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob is going to pick let's see, he's got San Francisco down as his first pick.
Okay.
Right.
So we'll put San Francisco in the lock box. The next one is Mike. You lost. You have Washington. Who is your pick?
Oh, who am I going to take? This is a tough. You know, you think this is an easy week. It's not. But I already made a point that one of two teams is going to win. So I'm going to get my week over with and take Brownie the Elf.
Bernie.
The Jets
Against the JERKS jerks.
the just in the season team.
Mm-hmm.
That's about where they're at.
Yeah.
All right, so our next picking, I forgot to update our overall standings, but we're looking at, let's see, Harris, Keith, and Mike are tied at 61%. And then it's Brian and Dan at 60%. Tim has 59, Rob 58% picking on the season. So Tim won. I think we should let Tim go next. His first choice was Cleveland, but that's picked already. His second choice was San Francisco. That's picked already. So Tim's third choice is Jacksonville.
Okay.
So he's hoping for Jacksonville to get well.
Where did you want to slot Bob in?
Yeah, Bob, who would you like?
Give me the Ravens.
What was it? Dolphins right now.
Yeah, they got the Dolphins, but I feel pretty confident about it as well. Ravens for Bob. And let's see. That leaves Keith and Brian. And I'm below you in the standings, so I'll go next. I will take the LA Rams.
Rams.
And Keith, who do you like?
I'm going to go. Let's see. I could go one of two ways, one of three ways, I guess. I'm going to go with the Bills.
All right, Buffalo. Josh Allen. All right, that's our lockbox. Has everybody picked? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
our lockbox is hermetically sealed. We've been doing pretty good. I know we were 6-2 weeks ago. Not so well last week. That concludes our NFL section of the show. I don't know if you all want to talk about the NCAA playoff games or the top 10. Kind of hard to figure top 10 games. We kind of have a handle on who's playing, who's not playing.
Just the playoff games.
Yeah, they're the only games that mean anything.
Just the playoffs.
Yeah, the two playoff games. You got Alabama at Michigan. And that game is the Rose Bowl game. So that'll be the afternoon game. Who wants to go first on this one?
I will. I'm going to go with the Crimson Tide.
Keith is taking Alabama. Would you like to go next?
Bob, you want to go next? Or
Alabama.
Nick Saban's tough in these college playoff games. I think he's won 6 in a row. Who's next?
Me. We're rolling along on the choo-choo train and go with the Crimson Tide.
Oh, I thought you were doing the Roll Tide thing.
Oh, I don't know what. Pat has to teach me that.
Okay. Let's see. It comes down to me. You got two defensive backs that are outstanding in this game. Terrion Arnold for Alabama and Mike Sanristi of Michigan both have 5 interceptions. But as I said, Nick Saban has won 6 straight college football playoff games. Michigan's ranked number 1, but they're missing their best offensive lineman in Zach Zinter, that guard that's probably going to be a first-round draft pick. Broke his leg, so he's not playing. They do have an All-American worthy defensive tackle named Chris Jenkins. A lot of people don't think Alabama should be there. A lot of people think Florida State should be there because Florida State is a Power 5 undefeated. But I'm with you all. I'm picking Nick Saban and Alabama.
There you go.
All right, the Sugar Bowl game is going to be Texas at Washington. I think the Alabama, I'll go first on this one. I think the Alabama-Michigan game will be kind of a defensive slog. But this game, I think we're going to see a lot of offense in this game. Washington twice beat a tough team. They're top 5 in the nation in big plays. And I say it's going to be a
Brian?
yeah, probably because their defense is only 93rd, so they got to score a lot. And
Okay, you froze up.
Jr. quarterback, and then am I back?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the wide receiver Odunze is outstanding. For Texas, Quinn Ewers.
Oh, you froze up again, bud.
He's not sure whether he's going to go to the NFL draft, but he is, of course, playing at play in this game. They've got a Texas named Jatavian Sanders, who's on kind of Brock Bowers, Georgia sort of tight end level. And they got a great wide receiver, Xavier Worthy. And a lot of people think they're 2 defensive tackles, Brian Murphy III and Tavondre Sweat, are the 2 best defensive tandem tackle in the NCAA. I am leaning toward, and it's a slight lean, but I am leaning toward Texas in this game.
Yeah. I kind of am too, but for some reason there's that when Texas lost to Oklahoma, I'm thinking, I didn't expect that to happen. However, they did beat Alabama. Then again, Alabama wasn't playing quite as well then. Washington defense, they give up some points. And although I think Washington's got a real good offense, a chance to win this game, I think Texas is going to find a way to pull it out.
Okay, Bob?
I'm going to go with Washington.
All right. And Mike?
Washington has to travel too far for this game. I think there'll be more pressure on them to try to win the game and to get ready to make their big move to the new conference and stuff. So I'm going to stay with my home state and go with Texas.
Okay, so Bob's on an island. Most of us think it's going to be a rematch of Texas and Alabama for the national championship.
Mm-hmm.
I think both games will be very interesting to watch, and they should be good games. Guys, we've been on a while. Thanks for joining us, Michael, Keith, and Bob, and also Philip Reynolds for joining us on the comments. That's all I see on the comments. We'll see you next week for Week 18 as the NFL season wraps down and teams are still positioning for the playoffs. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and may God bless.